Oh!
Yeah, brother! Yeah! Brother! We get a text from Carly in like 3 days. She's just like, I'm not doing the podcast anymore.
I literally can't with you guys.
I'm fucking done. I'm like, wait, where are you? I left.
She's like, I'm in South Dakota. You're like, why are you there? This is the farthest I could get before you guys wondered where I was.
You're still in here doing impressions. Like, where the fuck did Carly go?
Just on the same loop of the podcast. We haven't ended the podcast.
Just 3 days later, you're
Fucking in
still
here doing
doing...
stupid shit.
Now for our feature presentation.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie. Today we are finishing up our favorite movie segment. We are going to be talking about a favorite group movie. Something that you can just sit down with your friends, kind of chit the chat, have a good time watching. Our favorite group movie is Deadpool. Deadpool is a movie.
Of which we have watched.
Several times.
Jinxes!
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
I don't have hair. I mean, I have hair, but I don't... You
don't have those luscious locks?
Yeah, exactly. Or the long dancer's legs. I'm fucked. So, Deadpool is a passion project that finally got made. Mm-hmm. It was in development for what seems like forever before the league happened, and then everything kind of fell into place. And gotta be pretty thankful that it did, because it's a hilarious movie. Definitely one of the more true to source material comic book movies. Stars Ryan Reynolds as Captain Deadpool.
No, it's just Deadpool.
Oh, excuse me, as Deadpool. Fuck, who's in this movie? T.J. Miller's in the movie.
Yeah. Marina Baccarin plays Deadpool's love interest. Brianna
Vanessa.
Hildebrand plays
Duke
Megan
Nukem?
Sonic, teenage forehead.
Oh, yeah. What was her name?
And then you got Stefan Kapicic, I think that's how you pronounce his name, as the voice of Colossus. And then Ed Skrein as the main villain, Ajax / Francis. And then you got Caron Sony. That's another name that I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but he played the cab driver. Dopinder.
Dopinder.
Yep.
Gotta love Dopinder.
He's
See you
dope,
later, Mr. Poole. But with an accent.
Mm-hmm.
but not an accent you're going to try.
Yeah, I don't want to be racially insensitive.
Well, we can cut it.
Does she even know me?
Is there anybody else other than Ryan Reynolds that I would recognize from another movie?
What was her name? Vanessa's name?
Marina Baccarin.
Marina's in Gotham. We've watched a shit ton of Gotham.
T.J. Miller's in some stuff.
T.J. Miller's in the Emoji Movie.
I was going to say, I heard T.J. Miller, not necessarily from the Emoji Movie, but...
No. T.J. Miller's in the Emoji Movie, and he's in Deadpool, and that's all that matters.
He's famous for the Emoji Movie.
July 28, 2017. Maybe it was June. Fuck, I don't remember. Made T.J. Miller a star. There was some guy named Patrick Stewart in it. Never heard of him before that, but guess what? His career is going to take off. Emoji Movie.
Anyway,
Deadpool.
So Vanessa's in Gotham,
Gotham.
which you watched and I was in the room while it was on, but I didn't really pay that much attention to
You must be fun at parties. I don't know how that applies to her not watching the show.
I am fun at parties, actually.
But other than, obviously, like you said, Ryan Reynolds and, what was her name?
Marina Baccarin.
Her.
Marina.
I don't think that there's... T.J. Miller, like we were saying, is in Deadpool 2. Have you seen that one? Or, what was it, Brianna Hildebrand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time with names tonight. Brianna Hildebrand is also in Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
I've seen them in another movie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm a piece of shit. But no, realistically, I haven't really seen any of them in anything other than...
They all killed it, though.
I believe this movie was actually one of Brianna Hildebrandt's first movies.
I think so. I think you're correct. T.J. Miller was in like Office Christmas Party with Jason Bateman.
Was that before Deadpool? I thought that was after Deadpool.
It was after. He plays a lot of like stoner secondary characters.
He has the voice.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, probably most well known before this movie for playing Van Wilder, which is also a hilarious movie.
Was.
Um,
Are you sure he's not most famous for his brilliant role in Blade 3?
could be.
Or
You may have me on that one.
Or the
That
spectacular
one's-
film
I forgot about Blade 3.
of Green Lantern.
yeah, that was just what I was getting to actually.
You got us both beat.
Yeah, I think if Ryan Reynolds had to quit acting today and looked back at his whole career and had to choose the crowning achievement, it would obviously be the Green Lantern movie.
Green Lantern would be the shining emerald in the pile of crap that are all of his other movies.
Yeah, I mean,
Comparatively speaking.
we obviously are big fans of Ryan Reynolds, but if you stack them up, Green Lantern versus any other Ryan Reynolds movie, knocks him out of the water.
Another hard one would be the one that this movie was supposed to live up to, was his role in the X-Men movies.
That is true. If
Like,
they
they were shooting for that standard. It didn't quite get there, but that's where they were aiming.
It got close. It really got close.
Yeah, because I mean, a comic book character whose like number one attribute is his ability to run the mouth, talk a bunch of shit, should definitely be silenced. Makes him way better.
Yeah, that's what made X-Men Origins so good.
It was such a success.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Apparently, this is going to be the sarcastic cast.
Sarcastic cast.
Well, we did it in the last one, too.
But yeah, why am I having such a hard time with the names today? Director Tim Miller. What else has Tim Miller done?
Fucked if I know.
Well, fuck. Hold on.
Is T.J. Miller
No.
Tim Miller in disguise?
No. Because I imagine if that were the case, when Tim Miller left the project for Deadpool 2, T.J. Miller probably would have left as well.
Maybe he just couldn't keep up doing both.
Yeah, his role as what's his name in the movie
Bartender?
is really, really strenuous. Okay, so director Tim Miller, not much of a... Excuse me, I'm not talking to the microphone. Director Tim Miller, not much of a household name yet. Deadpool is his first big budget picture. But I think judging from that film success and the way that he made that movie, I think he's in store for a lot of good things. And it does look like he'll be working on a new Terminator reboot. So
Oh, God.
we don't need that, but maybe he'll do a good job with it. And he won't have a CGI'd Arnold as his younger self.
You know who
Which
does
will be dope.
need that? The people who own the rights to Terminator.
Yeah, because
Because they don't have enough money.
well, it's better to recreate Terminator for the third time than come up with anything even resembling an original idea. So I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, that's definitely the better call.
I mean, I'm talking a lot of shit right now, but our podcast is based on other people's creations. So I mean, I shouldn't judge, but maybe they should come up with a new fucking idea. Just maybe.
It's true.
Let's you know what everyone needs? More Terminator. Hold on.
Well, you know, a quintessential line from the Terminator is "I'll be back,"
It's true. So
and he's been back
Oh,
several
shit ton.
times.
I don't think I've ever
So-
watched a Terminator movie all the way through.
Well,
I think I
we're
watched
gonna have to
the
fix
new
that.
ones with Christian Bale and that actor guy from the Titans movies that Tyson fucking hates.
We'll watch the first two for sure because the first one's really good. The second one is even better than the first one. It's one of those ones where the sequel is actually better than
Like Godfather
Source.
3.
exactly like Godfather 3.
All right. I'm going to take your word for it because I haven't watched any of the Godfathers either.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, my apologies.
He's
It's
actually
Rian-
Canadian. So yeah, it'd be Rian Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds stars in the movie as one Wade Wilson. Sort of a bounty hunter. Bad guy for hire, but not really a bad guy. You guys have a better term?
Anti-hero?
Was he a mercenary?
Mercenary? I think that's what I was going for.
He is called the Merc with the Mouth.
Yeah. So, Ryan Reynolds stars as Wade Wilson, who's kind of a mercenary, taking on all sorts of jobs. Meets the love of his life, gets cancer, becomes Deadpool, has to find the love of his life. And in between, there's a lot of fourth wall breaks.
Wait, has to find the love of his life? Is Francis the love of his life?
Well, I mean, he has to get her back at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which involves hunting her down and finding where she's at.
But he's hunting down Francis for the movie.
Well, yeah, why is he hunting down Francis?
To get him to turn back because he knows we're
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was agreeing with you. I was just asking you for them. Why was he hunting down? For these guys that haven't seen the movie, you know the 6 people that watch our podcast, and 3 of them are us, and the other 2 are you guys.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, obviously he's not hunting the love of his life the whole movie. He is hunting down Francis, and that all comes to a head, and at the final fight, he gets back with the love of his life. So I apologize that my summary wasn't good enough for you, Charles.
I was just trying to make the joke that Francis was the love of his life.
You would like that.
So Deadpool.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds has said that he thinks Deadpool is a pansexual being, so I mean...
Isn't it canon for Deadpool to be bisexual?
Yeah,
I think it is, right?
Canon pansexual in the comic.
Yeah.
So he gets cancer and then becomes Deadpool through genetic testing? Like they're just trying to splice his genes with that of mutants to try and get rid of
Trying
the
to
cancer?
splice his genes?
They're trying to activate the latent mutant.
Yeah, and
gene.
already in his system, latent mutant gene.
Does everybody have those?
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah. I believe so.
I was going to say, I didn't think they covered that. I think you just go to them, and if you don't have a mutant gene, you just die.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
I don't think they covered that in great length. So that's how I always interpreted it,
Okay.
is it's open to everyone, but not everyone has a mutant gene. So if you don't, you're just gonna die.
What if it's a mutant gene that doesn't heal him of his cancer? What if it's a mutant gene that he'll die anyway? Like, he'll sprout wings, but he still dies of cancer.
Mutants can't have cancer
Por qué no?
because of the mute in the word mutant. It mutes out cancer cells.
True, cancer cells can't do anything to you if they can't speak.
Because they can't coordinate with the other cells and the other cancer cells to be like, hey, we're going to cancer up the place, do some cancering.
They just wander around and then just die?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Science. The more you know.
That's why they use radiology to cure cancer. They just blare radio.
Yeah,
really
it's
loud.
really loud music,
Yeah.
so.
But for real, mutants can't get cancer?
I fucked if I know!
I think the mutant gene adapts to like the situation it's in.
Okay.
Possibly. I don't know where I heard that. I'm probably just pulling it out of my ass.
I think
but-
they're just. I don't think they're that concerned about it. I mean, they're basically tricking these people into and turning them into weapons.
Right.
And at very little cost. It's a very high profit margin business. I don't think they're worried if some of them die.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if they can't be cured of whatever illness has brought them to that place, doesn't matter. They didn't pay for them to get there, and torture is a relatively cheap venture to get into.
Okay.
You really just need the will and a little bit of can-do attitude. You can just about torture anyone.
With just about anything.
Yeah.
So inspirational. I need that on the poster on my wall.
That was pretty dark, but I liked that. I thought that was funny. But yeah, I don't think that it's anything that if you come to this program and you become a mutant, you're guaranteed to be cured. I really think they're just trying to fuck with people. Give them some last glimpse of hope, and then the ones that do survive turn them into a weapon.
They're making super slaves.
Yeah. What's my name?
Francis.
R.
It's Dexton.
C-I. Whoops.
That's not how you spell Francis.
That's how Wade Wilson spelt it.
Well, he's an idiot. And he's from Canada, so it's pronounced Wadi Wilson.
That's not correct.
Yeah.
Alright, so the visual effects in this movie were really good. I mean, they kind of had to be.
Yeah.
They were showing just Deadpool regenerating and everything like that. I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's even funnier in the second one, but...
Well, you're right. It's funny. I will say, like, not to scoff at a $50 million budget, because I believe that's what I saw the budget was. We can talk,
58 million.
we can talk about the budget stuff a little bit more later.
Mm.
But, I mean, for that amount of money in this day and age, in this arena of film, I think they did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
They really cut out a lot of the excessive spending where they didn't need it. And
Like extra X-Men.
yeah, exactly what I was alluding to, yeah. And really focus on making as good a product with what they had as they could. So I really respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But with something like that, like, if something was subpar, they could just break the fourth wall and just kind of, like, beat the audience to it. Like, oh, look at that terrible CGI monster. Like, you know, they could,
Yeah.
they can address it and, like, if they know it's bad. But
yeah,
they did a lot of really good things, like Colossus is his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, you can hardly tell he wasn't a giant being there. Just a man walking around in a suit.
Mm.
Little dots on him.
Mocap suit.
And the great soundtrack.
It's honestly one of the best.
It's like right up there with Guardians of the Galaxy. Just like those classic songs. You've got like Shoop by Salt and Pepper. X Gon' Give It To You.
Yeah.
Just so many bops.
Yeah, I think the Guardian soundtrack is a better soundtrack. But I do think that Deadpool soundtrack has better bangers. So, I mean, you take the good, you take the bad.
I think
And
each
then you have-
soundtrack fits their movie perfectly. Deadpool's just is a very, like, gets you in the mood, makes you, like, enjoy everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
The facts of life.
Sip it was it. Good dog.
Well, so you're looking at me right now. We were talking about the soundtrack, and then I said, you take the good, you take the bad, and then I said, and then you have, and you start talking again. So I just finished it. I wasn't going to talk over you or anything, but I was going to finish that.
I'm sorry to interject.
Please don't be. Sorry. Please continue to interject.
Please don't be sorry. Just don't interject.
Just do better. Don't be sorry, be better. No, but
Sorry to interject. Please don't.
be. Sorry.
Nope, just please don't.
Yeah, no, please continue to interject. I was just freezing in time. There's a fun fan theory that I've seen. I'm sure both of you guys have seen it. But the fan theory that Deadpool wrote the movie Deadpool. And that explains the intro credits.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's directed by some overpaid asshat or whatever he says, and starring God's perfect idiot and all those other things.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'd be a narrative that they decided to go with.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty fun thing that I saw.
Deadpool has interacted with the real world in the comics before.
It's true.
So.
He likes to break that fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth wall break in a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls. Kind of touched on it already, but probably one of the most accurate to the source material comic book movies of all time. And I'm not just talking like big budget superhero movies. I'm talking about in general comic book to film. I think this is one of the best translations.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously a lot that I haven't seen, just because there are so many. But
Is this a specific storyline that was in the comics?
no, not that I know of. I just think
Just the character himself?
yeah, just the representation of Deadpool.
Okay.
I feel like the 1960s Batman was pretty accurate to where Batman was at that point in time.
Yeah.
The 60s movies or the 60s TV show?
Both. They're pretty much the same.
So Batman was really goofy in the 60s?
Mm-hmm.
All hopped up on fizz bangers and lollipops?
Mm-hmm. I actually own the Adam West 1960s Batman movie.
Well, I have to tell you something. Nobody messes with Adam Wee.
It's true. This is true.
So, Deadpool is a very rated R movie. There's
Very.
Mm-hmm.
lots of gore, sexual innuendos, and language, all sorts of action. But to its core, it's really a beautiful love story.
It's true.
I think they address that in the movie, don't they?
Mm-hmm. It was probably one of the most romantic romance movies.
Of all time.
Of all
100%.
time.
I mean, fuck The Notebook. Fuck Dear John. P.S. I Love You. I mean, Deadpool.
Yeah, that's really what it is. When in the opening credits where he's like, your boyfriend said this was a superhero movie, but he's killing people. No, the boyfriend should have said this is a love story, and she would have been all about it, and he would have been right.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been.
I do have to point out the fact that them making this movie, an R-rated superhero movie, I have been saying they should do for a long ass time, and I was so happy when they came out with it. And then they brought out Logan, which is probably my favorite superhero movie of all time.
It's a good one.
And it was so good. It just opened up the door
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
R-rated superhero movies.
I definitely
They
feel
show-
like it blazed the trail.
Yeah.
Well, because I feel like there's this misconception that comic book characters are for kids, and I don't honestly agree with that. I do believe that they have this area where they can be for kids. So I mean, a lot of animated like Cartoon Network and probably all just on Cartoon Network, but they've all played those things, those animated superhero shows before.
Mm.
But the source material is all comes from comic books, and comic books have a very dark and graphic history with pretty much every character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really wanted to be true to the source material, most superhero movies would be rated R.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we'll cover this when we watch it for the podcast, but Infinity War did a really good job of making it super gritty and super serious without,
without alienating
giving
the
our rating.
Yeah.
Well, I believe like early comic books were only marketed towards children, but then
Yeah.
as their market that started buying the comic books grew up, and some of the stories grew with them,
Mhm.
so it became a for everyone platform in anybody that distributes them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume so. I don't read comics as often as I'd like to, so I can't really comment on it too thoroughly.
So for anybody that would think that they were only for kids, would just be misconstruing like the whole history of comic books then, right?
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. Yeah, but yeah, like you were saying, I feel like Deadpool really blazed the trail for R-rated movies, and then the outreach and the things like that Ryan Reynolds has had with kids as Deadpool. I think I definitely would by no means call this a family movie. But I do think that he kind of blazed the trail for the R-rated superhero movie, and that shows that you can still, again, not in this instance, but you can still do an R-rated superhero movie that it's relatively family-friendly.
Yeah. Deadpool 2 is the family movie. Deadpool 1 is the romance. Deadpool 2 is
mean,
the family movie.
That's exactly right. This is not a family movie, but the second one is 100% a family movie.
Go watch it with your 5-year-olds.
In a crowded theater with lots of people that want to hear children screaming and crying.
Or just, rent it. Or
No.
buy it.
Go to the theaters.
Everybody wants you to.
The budget for this movie is $58 million. Not a small amount of money. However, it grossed $363 million.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Domestically.
Domestic. That's
Oh my
just
God.
in the U.S. So it made a shit ton of money. Fox was probably really happy about that.
Yeah. That's probably why they greenlit 3 sequels without seeing how anything else would turn out.
Exactly. So yeah, grossed a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Did really well.
Yeah. I think it had like a 750 in the worldwide box office too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It cleared a good amount of money.
Yeah.
This came out in 2016. It was the 6th ranked movie of the year domestically, which is pretty good.
What
Also,
Rogue One was number 1. There was
yeah, that'd be a hard one to go up
Civil
against.
War that year, I think.
Okay, yeah.
The top 6 were all movies I've seen. They were all...
So none that were like, I don't think this should have beat out Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, there were 6 movies in front of Deadpool, or 5 movies in front of Deadpool that I don't think should have made more money than Deadpool. I think Deadpool was the best movie that was going to box office a lot of the year.
It's understandable that a Star Wars movie would beat it out, though.
yeah.
And it's also understandable that anything not rated R would beat it out. Anything in that top tier would beat it out because you can take your kids to it, and a family of 5 is more money than 2 homies going. I mean, you get all of that over and over. So, I mean, and it was the number 1 R-rated movie of 2016 as well. So.
Yeah, it came out just in time for Valentine's Day, February 12th.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, as we've pretty strongly established at this point, it was a romance.
Mm-hmm.
It was through and through a love story. I think that's the most important thing. If you take home one thing, take that home with you.
Yep.
It's true. But make sure you pay for it first. Can't just shoplift.
He
Well,
can't get you.
I can't, I'm fast. I'm very fast.
Like a leopard mixed with a piranha.
Make sure the hippo. I'm not that fast. Actually, a hippo can run pretty quickly.
They
Yeah,
can run
they're-
pretty quickly.
They're scary.
I am that fast.
So, he met Vanessa in that bar for Mercs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was she also a Merc, or was she a prostitute?
No, she's a prostitute.
She's a prostitute
Okay.
trolling for hand jibbers to giving aways for monies.
Exactly. It's so eloquently put. That makes me weird.
That's what I was thinking. I think that was top tier speakage.
She was in the Merc bar to get some expensive handy J's passed out.
Makes sense.
For charity.
Mhm.
The charity of her own wallet.
I was going to say, does she call herself Charity as a prostitute name?
I know that I would.
I'd call myself Chastity.
I need
Or
money for charity.
abstinence.
Like those are both good names, but I need money for charity. So
Spend all my money on charity.
favorite scenes of the movie. What stood out to you guys? Aside from what we've already talked about.
You first, Carly.
Hmm.
Because I need to think of mine.
No, this is hard.
Do you want me to go first, or do you got it?
I think you need to go first. It's been longer for me of watching this movie than it has for you guys.
And why is that?
Well, we discussed last week that this was a hard week to watch movies because you fell asleep watching Blade Runner, and I
did.
I fell asleep watching Deadpool. We watched both of those the same night. Blade Runner for the second time, and Deadpool. And I was just beat.
Like an egg.
Or like
The dicks
penis.
Vanessa was trying to...
Okay. I was just giving Tyson this look like, tread carefully.
Or you think I was gonna say something like a wife or
Yes.
something?
Yes, I did.
In Deadpool.
So do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So
Here's my
for like comedic reasoning, I mean it's a funny movie, so a lot of it is funny, but the baby hand scene where he puts his hand in Blind Al's face,
Mm-hmm.
I laughed so hard at that scene in the theaters. I cracked up when it came on the screen here at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good funny scene. I'm easily amused, I guess. But the action sequence on the bridge as well, basically from start to finish there, I think was really well executed and was also a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
It was a fun movie.
It was a fun movie. How about you? What was your favorite scenes?
Favorite scenes? I like. There's so many good characters. So many just like funny off the wall characters. All the scenes with Dopinder. I think all those are great. And then.
I'm gonna fix my face.
Thank you. The scene probably where he meets Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Like that whole sequence.
Yeah, just their back and forth to get like throughout, but that sequence in particular.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with those.
Mean comment? Or what's he saying? Mean comment or
comment or sullen silence?
that's what it was. I knew it was like a S adjective silence.
Yeah, long sullen silence.
You got me in a box here. And for you, what would you consider to be your favorite scene of the movie?
The entire bridge scene
Yeah,
where he was sitting up on the overpass, drawing with crayon, where he cuts off his hand while getting dragged away by Colossus. Like that whole
that was pretty cool.
section of the movie is my favorite part of the movie. It's just so well done.
I totally forgot. He's fighting Colossus and he breaks his wrists. All the other dinosaurs feared the T-Rex. That's actually to me my favorite part, the funniest part.
It's a great line.
Is all the other dinosaurs feared the T-Rex. Can't believe I forgot about that. I'm disappointed in myself.
Another great line is the one delivered by T.J. Miller when describing Ryan Reynolds' face
Yeah.
about the topographical map of Utah having sex with an old...
It's like Freddy Krueger fucked a topographical map of Utah.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
You could just watch a fucking linorama of that shit all day. Them just saying random shit that he looks like.
My favorite quip is probably when Colossus is like, "Oh, does this guy have an off switch?" And Deadpool's like, "Is that right next to the prostate, or is that the
On switch?" When they were later on, when Ryan Reynolds is when Deadpool's describing his appearance to, I believe he's describing his appearance to Francis, says that it looks like he got bit by a radioactive Sharpei. That's actually a nod to a line from the comics saying that Deadpool in the comics saying that he looks like a mix between Ryan Reynolds and a Sharpei or something like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. Captain Deadpool.
It's a banging song.
True.
That's a banger. Fucking slaps, I'll tell you that much. It's great. It's
Ryan Reynolds' butt. Do you disagree?
yes. His butt looks terrible.
When he's wearing the apron and pulls out the ring?
Where were you hiding that? Scores and recommendations. You can go in any order because it's no one's favorite movie. But we'll start with Carly.
Wow.
Do you want Tyson go first?
No, that's fine.
Okay, we'll start with Carly. What would you score this movie, and would you recommend it to a friend?
8.5 out of 10. Would definitely recommend to a friend.
I actually did recommend this movie to a friend. Take that, Tyson. I believe they didn't watch it until a couple months ago when I convinced them that they needed to. Because their words were that they weren't a superhero movie fan. But I just told them that...
Do I know this friend?
Yes.
Who were we at the house yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying their name because I might be misremembering the details of the story, and I might not have been the reason they watched it, but I feel like I definitely was. But I just told him that, I mean, he's gonna love it. It's crude humor. It's got action. It's got a lot of things. It is a superhero movie, but it's not just a superhero movie. So obviously, I would recommend it to a friend. I have on multiple occasions. I made another coworker go see this movie's sequel yesterday. So I push for Deadpool pretty big. I would say 8.5 as well. And that's out of 11 avocados, in case anyone was wondering what our scoring system is. It's not stars. It's not out of 10. It's avocados out of 11. So it's 8.5 out of 11 avocados. That's not true. Avocados are trash.
Did I miss the meeting where we discussed this?
Yes. I got a cough so
I
bad
think both
today.
Jackson and I missed that meeting as well.
No, I was there with my alternate personalities.
Mm.
We got it all taken care of. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, which is a normal rating. I don't use avocados because fuck avocados.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, this was my favorite superhero movie until Logan came out. So, and then before that was Dark Knight. But yeah, I would recommend this to a friend. I would recommend it to everybody. I would recommend it to my worst enemy.
I wouldn't, because I don't talk to your worst enemy.
I don't even have a worst enemy.
Would you recommend it to
I'm my
children
own worst enemy.
and old grandmothers?
Yes, I would.
Not my old grandmother.
Everybody needs a bit of crude humor and gore in their lives.
I don't think anybody can appreciate that more than a grandma.
Fun facts. We got some facts and they're fun.
Fun facts.
They're facts and they're fun.
Yeah. Fun facts. Film was shot in what, according to my handwriting, looks like 98 days.
Could be 48.
It could also be 48. Fuck you. There's a cameo from Dogpool. Not a cameo, but you can see a little Dogpool stuffed animal up at the skee ball reward counter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's the first R-rated movie to have $100 million gross over a 3-day weekend. There were other R-rated movies that did it over their weekend, but they were like ones that launched on Wednesdays.
Oh,
yeah. It's the first Marvel movie character. Deadpool's the first Marvel movie character to be nominated for a Golden Globe. And it's the first X-Men film without Professor Xavier or Wolverine.
Alright.
Mm-hmm. Wait, oh fuck, I fucked up the joke already, because I forgot Picard's name.
Patrick Stewart?
There you go! Stewart or McAvoy.
The time reference.
Make me fuck up jokes. There's that.
There's also this note about Vanessa's character being affiliated to Copycat or related to Copycat, but I wrote this when I thought we were going to record a few minutes after I wrote it, so I don't know what it means now. Oh well! Do we need anything else from Fun Facts?
No, but I have more questions just because I don't know.
Okay.
I'm a novice. So was it Deadpool a character that originated in X-Men and then branched off to his own? Or was he his own character that just kind of got thrown in with the X-Men sometimes?
I have no idea.
Well, he started off as a villain, so I don't think he really had his own issues for a while.
Was he somebody that the X-Men had to face?
I believe so, but I don't know that he was very exclusive to the X-Men. I think he was just kind of all over the place.
But he's in, like, the X-Men world with all, like, the mutants, obviously. It's not, like, super, like, by itself, like Captain America or anything like that.
Let us know in the comments below. Tell us how stupid we are.
Mm-hmm. We're all kind of comic illiterate.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I just want to know how it relates to the X-Men being so integrated in that story.
How does that make you feel?
Curious?
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a pretty heavy integration with the X-Men because his team is called the X-Force, and I mean, he's always making references to X-Men, and they're always, you know, I'm sure that in the comics the integration between the two is pretty you know, walrusy.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
It's often. That's all I have for fun facts.
Fun facts are over, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast. The end.
Nobody ever gets to this part, though.
I don't think they get to the beginning. Have you looked at our views? Thanks for watching / listening / hearing / seeing
/ feeling
/ being. No slash for you?
Y'all too much. Just flash crazy. I played along.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate you guys. There's no one listening to this.
This will be our last podcast before our next one.
Yeah. We will be hanging up our podcasting G-string and putting it back on in just a few minutes when we record our next episode. So goodbye. For now.
So long. Farewell.
I'll be the same.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Remember to like and subscribe. Leave your hate to us down in the comments below about how comic illiterate we are. Please tell me I'm an idiot. Fuck me up, bruh. You know, we really want to know what movies you guys want to watch, so let us know what movies you want us to watch. Like, subscribe, comment, find us on all the social medias. jdate_Jekyll Studios. You will not find us there.
It's true.
But we do have a great... Anyone have a good idea for a deceased webpage?
MySpace.
I said MySpace last week. I said a lot last week.
What's really poppin' is our LinkedIn.
We do have a great LinkedIn, JECLL Studios. That's LinkedIn, that's Chatterbait, that's Grindr, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Craigslist Personals.
Craigslist Personals. Almost forgot to plug the Craigslist Personals.
Yeah.
And we are also in the Misconnections. So we are covering both bases there.
Mm-hmm.
The misconnections are in the personals.
I don't use Craigslist. You can find us in the Penny Savers back page.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I think that's where the sex ads are at, but it might be the cars. We're next to one of them.
You can watch our entire podcast on the back page of the Penny Saver.
Check us out on Vimeo. We don't use that website, but check us out anyways.
We also upload to Pornhub.
Mm-hmm. We also have entire episodes in 6-second blocks on Vine.
Yep. Rip Vine. Oh my god, that's a good one.
I'm sad now.
But anyway, for real, like, subscribe, find us on the Insta, the Twitter, the Facebook, all that fun stuff. Next week, we're going to do our mini-sode, first ever mini-sode.
So, we had this great plan in our last episode, you might have heard. We're going to do a draft.
A fantasy-style draft where we're going to take the characters from the movies we watch over a block of movies, and we're going to draft them and cast another scenario. So look out for that coming. I call it a mini episode because hopefully it'll be shorter than these. Who really knows? But when we put those up, we're going to want you guys to vote on who has the best movie. So, pew pew. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great life. Goodbye forever. And as always, where's Francis? Those are my balls.
I feel like you are the children and I am the grandmother.
Hey,
Well, you do get real sleepy and real cold, so
it's true.
you're probably going to die soon, so.
And you probably made killer peanut brittle.
Nah.
Excuse me?
Have you made peanut brittle ever in the last 5 years?
That doesn't mean I don't make good peanut brittle.
Have you made peanut brittle in the last 24 years?
No.
Yeah, so as of right now, your track record is not proven in your ability to make peanut brittle.
But that doesn't mean I don't make good peanut brittle.
Could make good peanut brittle.
Ask me if Daxton can make good peanut brittle.
Hey, can Daxter make good peanut brittle?
Fuck no, he can't.
Wow, that was so aggressive.
Yeah, that was like aggressively.
She ain't even
That was
tried
like-
my peanut brittle.
That's even
See?
more than.
See the feeling? Do you get it now?
No, because
Like
you
you
didn't
just
say no.
had no. You just had no.
Yeah.
She went out of her way to add extra syllables
Yeah.
onto that.
But now he knows the feeling.
No, because you ain't even tried my peanut brittle. You wish that you could have my peanut brittle? In the movie, it's just 90 days. Adrian!
Hey, Stallone.
I fucked it up!